What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 5 match for the NCL or the Mombasa City League. This week we are taking on my good friend Austin and his Atlanta Staraptors. He's a divisional opponent for us. We lost to Ben, the other divisional opponent, last week, and so we're looking to come in and win against Austin. Austin is also undefeated, just like Ben was. He's 4-0 plus 7. He's had a lot of really close matches, which is why his differential is fairly low for a 4-0 team. I think that sort of goes to show that his team is maybe not the greatest draft out there, but he's using it really well, and the way that his team sort of functions is that he's going to be going like 1-for-1 a lot of the time, and then maybe a 2-for-1 sort of in there as well. So yeah, that's how we're sort of looking at this match. Anyways, his team consists of Victini, Gliscor, Tangrowth, Empoleon, Cryogonal, Haunter, Mega Altaria, Raikou, Keldeo, Zoroark, and Ferroseed. Victini is very scary. I don't have a lot for it. In fact, I brought an extremely fire weak team. We brought 1 fire resist, and I have 4 fire weaknesses this week. So Victini is very scary. Raikou could be very scary, although Superior is built to handle Raikou very easily. Zoroark, I expect it to come, could be scary. I expect the Keldeo. No Keldeo kind of surprises me. It kind of does well against my team. Can outrun a Alolan Sandslash if you put a Scarf on it. Cryogonal I was a little surprised not to see just because it can abuse Veil against me. Mega Altaria I definitely expect to see, and there it is. Empoleon, same thing. There it is. Ferroseed I was expecting, and there it is. I think that both of those steel types are going to be Kommo-o's setup fodder later. He's very Kommo-o weak with just Earthquake and Close Combat at this point, and I actually brought all the perfect coverage to beat everything there. Which I'm glad about because I really couldn't hit Haunter, and Haunter didn't come, so there you go. Gliscor and Tangrowth are like the key to his defensive core, and he didn't bring them because Ice kind of decimates both of them, and I thought that Hail had a really good matchup against him this week. So that's sort of how we're going to play around things. What else is there? He could have Priority and Victini with Quick Attack, Raikou with Extreme Speed, and Zoroark with Sucker Punch. I don't really expect that. He tends to lean towards a special Zoroark most of the time, and based on his team, it looks like it's going to be special Zoroark, physical Teeny, physical Mega Altaria, and then maybe like Spadef, Empoleon, and Fizdef, Ferroseed is kind of what I'm imagining, just for the Iron Barbs on the physical hits. Yeah, he doesn't really have a great Mega Pinsir switch in either, so that'll be fun. Anyways, yeah, no Gliscor, no Tangrowth, no Haunter, Cryogonal, Keldeo. Yeah, so we covered all that. So anyways, let's hop right into things then. I'm going to lead with Mew because I think he's going to lead with Victini. Or he's going to lead with the Ferroseed, and if he leads with Ferroseed, I can get my rocks up. So we'll lead with Mew as he is going to lead with Victini. It's pretty easy for me to just stay in here, let him take some Rocky Helmet chip. I definitely think he's going to go for the U-turn here, so I'm going to go for my own slow U-turn. I'm no speed Mew, and you know what would have been really smart is actually I probably should have run 30 speed IVs instead of 31 just to guarantee have the slow U-turn on the Victini, and there you go. Now we know that for next time. So anyways, he's going to U-turn, does not a whole lot of damage, but based on that we can tell that he's definitely going to be Jolly, max attack. Based on that damage. There's no way that he's adamant based on that damage, and I expect a Jolly because he's probably trying to speed time Mew, but he's definitely physical based on that, and he's not going to be specially biased, which excites me a little bit because that means Mew can switch into Victini every single time. So he gets his U-turn off into the Empoleon, and I'm going to get my U-turn off, and I'm going to go into my Mega Pinsir. I didn't really have a great way to deal with this. I didn't want to just go into Kommo-o right away, although I could have, because I wasn't entirely sure what he was going to do. And I needed to set up on something twice to be able to outspeed Scarf Zoroark, if that's what it is, or Scarf Victini, if that's what that is. So I ended up going with this route. I could have probably just gone Kommo-o, set up 2 Dragon Dances, and clean sweep the game, but risking Scald Burn into Scald Burn, I was not a fan of. And I'm not running Drain Punch, I'm running Close Combat, so he can potentially chip me down with like 2 Ice Beams, or maybe even kill me with 2 Ice Beams, so it's too risky. So I went into Mega Pinsir, and I'm just going to click the Close Combat here, as he's going to go into his Raikou, which I actually think was extremely dangerous, because if I had the Earthquake, this Raikou was going to take a hell of a lot of damage. But it turns out, based on this close combat damage, that he is actually physically defensive Raikou, which I don't think I've ever seen in my life. So that was really good prep, a really good way to deal with Mega Pinsir. People don't really have great flying resists, and rock types don't do the trick. Electric types kind of have to do the trick, and you kind of have to rely on an electric type that's going to be able to wall Mega Pinsir. Zapdos is the best Mega Pinsir wall because Earthquake can't hit it, Close Combat can't hit it, which means you're relying on Stone Edge, which is whereas Earthquake and Close Combat are both 100% accurate moves, and Pinsir gets a lot of fighting coverage as well. So yeah, the bug is really weird actually, because you're really relying on X Scissor most of the time, so Mega Pinsir really usually spams Flying Step. Anyways, that Raikou's not taking a whole lot of damage, but I can just go into my Superior here, as he's going to show Leftovers, and then he's going to show Protect, I think. Yeah. Shows the Protect, which is kind of weird, because there was no reason for me to attack him again when Thunderbolt's going to knock me out. I would have thought Volt Switch was the play there. But anyways, we're on Superior. I can go for a big Leaf Storm now, and we're going to weaken this Empoleon, get our boost, and he's going to start getting up rocks as I go for the Leech Seed here. So we trade rocks for a Leech Seed. It's wearing down his Empoleon. It looks like his Empoleon is the Rock Setter, so I'm just going to keep Leaf Storming, as he's going to get Roar Off into my Alolan Ninetales, which is actually probably the perfect scenario because he's still got the Leech Seed on him, so Alolan Ninetales is getting the health back from the Leech Seed, and I'm going to Encore him into Roar. I could have killed him here, and I could have gone for a Roar Veil, but I was actually scared of him going for Flash Cannon, or a Steel type move, or like Steel Wing or something. So he probably thinks this is a great scenario for him, but I'm just going to Encore him into Roar. And he's going to roar me again into the Kommo-o, and Kommo-o can just finish off this guy with an Earthquake here as I get back up to full. I'm just going to finish off the Empoleon. I decided it was better for me to click Earthquake there instead of lowering my defenses with Close Combat or whatever, and I didn't want to reveal that I had Ice Punch yet, but Earthquake is probably fine for me to reveal because he's going to expect that I have Earthquake against his team because the combination of Ground plus Ice kind of tears through him, so that's kind of where we're at there. He's going to go into Altaria here, or what I think is Altaria. Excuse me, which absolutely threatens me out. Return blows me back like twice. So I'm going to go into, what am I going? I go into my Mew here, and it turns out this is actually the Zoroark. And he gets the extra sensory off from me, and he takes some hail damage, which is going to come into play later. So I'm going to get a Roost off here because I actually see by that extra sensory damage that he is Specs. I believe it was Specs Modest? Can't remember. It's either Specs Modest or Specs Timid. Didn't really matter in the end. He's Choice Specs. That's all we need to know. Is that he's Choice Specs. So I'm gonna go for the Roost and get my health back up as the Ferro Seed comes in here. And now I'm gonna set up my rocks and see what he wants to do. Is he actually starts to Spike Stack me. So I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam, hope for the Freeze, sort of gauge the damage as he's gonna continue to Spike Stack. I could have U-turned there, but I wanted to keep my Mew as healthy as possible. So avoiding Iron Barb's damage as we get Superior in here. And I'm just gonna go for the Defog. Get rid of the Spike Stack. Unfortunately, that gets rid of our rocks, which hinders the Victini and the Mega Altaria, but luckily for us, Victini switches in on rocks again, so that's really good for us. Victini offensively pressures us out back into the Mew as he's going to U-turn and he's going to crit me here. That crit could come into matter later, depending on what I need this Mew for, because I can't switch it on Victini twice now. Excuse me, without getting a Roost up. But in comes the Altaria now, and I think this is the Zoroark this time. He does a really good job baiting me, and I think it's the Zoroark, and he's going to Dark Pulse me as he gets off Dragon Dance. I could have easily U-turned or Ice Beamed there, and unfortunately a +1 return is going to kill my Ninetales. I believe it was potentially a roll based on his investment, and I did click Blizzard. I was just trying to weaken this to get up, to get Mega Pinsir in, because I have Quick Attack. Oh, I didn't go over the team. That's whatever. You guys should go watch the team builder if you want to know what I have. Anyways, I get to bring in Sand Slash now because I've got the hail up, and he goes into the Ferro Seed on my Iron Head. Icicle Crash was probably the safer play. No, it covered the switch at the very least. It was not the safer play. I didn't want to risk missing the Icicle Crash and then die to the +1 Earthquake from the Mega Altaria, so I went for the Iron Head there, which unfortunately wasn't even going to kill the Mega Altaria, but again, I just needed it weakened for Mega Pinsir to pick it off with Quick Attack. So now his Ferro Seed's in, and his Ferro Seed's now, and I'm going to end up going for the the Tectonic Rage, as he's actually going to predict me to switch out and goes to the Toxic. I think he might have been predicting Mew to come in there to set up rocks in this thing's face or something, or the Superior maybe. But all in all, we get some good chip damage off from the Fair Seed. He's going to go for the Leech Seed this turn as I go into Mew. And he's going to get the Leech Seed off, which is whatever. I'm pretty sure it's whatever. I can't remember what I go for. Oh, I just go for the hard U-turn. So now Mew's extremely weakened. I need to get it in on this thing to roost up later. As he goes for the Toxic and burns my Lumberry on the Kommo-o. So that's probably fine. I figure this is probably my best chance to get Kommo-o in and start setting up. So I go for the Dragon Dance here as he's going to Toxic again. And then I'm going to go for second Dragon Dance as he's going to Leech Seed. If one of them missed, it would have been fantastic for me, although I never wish hacks on my opponent. In the game, I'm just thinking about that now as we're doing the commentary. If either the Toxic or the Leech Seed missed, my Kommo-o would have gotten at least one more kill, and you'll sort of see that Kommo-o is now +2/+2, and I basically get to kill everything until the Toxic kills me. Toxic plus Leech Seed kills me, sorry. So if one of them missed again, then I get at least one more kill. So we'll sort of just speed through Kommo-o killing stuff then. Close Combat's going to take up the Fair Seed here pretty easily, and I take the Iron Barb's damage as well as Toxic, not the Leech Seed because everything's dead. So I'm pretty weakened, but I get to at least kill two more things. Victini comes in here, it's going to die in an Earthquake. And then you'll notice that this Mega Altaria hasn't taken 2 turns of hail damage like the other Altaria, so maybe we'll sort of go back and look at Altaria's health. Where is it? Here. So his Altaria is at 88%, and the Altaria that comes in on us is at 94%. How is that? Well, this is the Zoroark, so I know that this is a Zoroark now based on that Mega Altaria taking 2 turns of hail damage and Zoroark taking 1 turn of hail damage. So I'm going to close combat this and kill it, which I think was a good read on my part, figuring out that was Zoroark. And Kommo-o's going to drop to the poison here. Sandslash is completely worthless to me at this point, and it covers the Mega Altaria coming in. So I just go out and Sandslash, and I'm going to click Iron Head. Icicle Crash was not going to kill based on this Iron Head damage. And he actually looks like he's not fully physically invested, or I was calculating with +1. I can't exactly remember. So I don't know. We'll sort of see when his side is going up, and I'm actually going to be recording his side because he's had jaw surgery, so he can't really talk. There you go. So Iron Head, not killing it unless I got a crit. Whatever. I just wanted the guaranteed damage because now Mega Pinsir can come in and quick attack it. He thought that I was adamant and that I was going to kill him, so he just went for the damage. He thought that I was adamant earlier on when he had Dragon Danced, and I could have killed him, and so he was talking about getting another Dragon Dance up. It didn't matter. I'd quick attack in the back on Mega Pinsir. I always picked off Mega Altaria after Sandslash got a hit on it, and Sandslash always outsped after his first Dragon Dance. He could... Oh, hang on. Did he Dragon Dance on my Ninetales? Or he Dragon Dance on my Ninetales switching it? So I think what he was talking about is Dragon Dancing on my Ninetales with the Mega Altaria, which is extremely dangerous because Ninetales Blizzard was going to do a hell of a lot of damage, plus it was taking more hail damage. So I don't know if I agree with that. Again, still Mega Pinsir comes in quick attacks, but then I don't get Sandslash in, and Sandslash can't really do anything against his team. So now Sandslash is just going to drop. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go into Mega Pinsir. It's actually really safe for me to just click Return rather than Quick Attack there because I always outspeed Mega Altaria, and it probably would have been safe for me to actually click Close Combat, which would have covered the Raikou switching in. But instead I'm just going to click Return and get some damage on the Raikou, which does a little bit more than I was expecting considering it's a resist. I didn't realize it was a 4-hit KO. It's actually a 5-hit KO because he's got leftovers. Superior handles this thing pretty well, especially defensively. That's what I've tacked the Superior to be, as he protects on my Leech Seed. Pretty good that I didn't Leaf Storm there because he's pressure, so I don't want to run out of these Leaf Storms right away. In fact, I missed one, which really sucks because that's 2 gone actually because of the pressure. Thunderbolt's doing nothing to me. He could potentially para me, but I'm just going to Leech Seed him, get some recovery back, basically negate all of the Thunderbolt damage and heal myself back up. And then we're just going to kill him with Leaf Storm. I believe I kill him with 1 more Leaf Storm. I think this last Leaf Storm is actually my last one. Yeah. And that puts me down to 0 Leaf Storms. And now the Mega Altaria is going to come in, and I just get to kill it with an HP Ice. So, he outsped me because I was running no speed. No speed investment at all, which meant, actually looking at the Raikou being slower than me, he was 0 speed Raikou as well. That's kind of what we figure out there. I might have been running a tiny bit of speed on Superior. I can't remember. I didn't make a note for myself. So he actually also could have been a minus speed nature Pyko to outslow my Superior. I don't remember if I had any speed investment on the Superior or not. But anyways, there you go. We pick up the win 3-0 against Austin and the Atlanta Staraptors. Big win over a divisional opponent. Really important that we picked up that win. We now move to 4-1 plus 13 as he moves to 4-1 plus 4. Still not a horrible record. I mean, our division is still incredibly stacked. All three of us are still at the top of the league. Ben's 5-0 now after taking down Matt 1-0 this week. I'm 4-1 in second place, and Austin's 4-1 right behind me. He's still in a playoff spot. He's still miles ahead of how he did last season, and he's going to be looking to come back with a vengeance. He could potentially be a second round playoffs matchup for us. There is no way that we face any of our conference opponents in the first round, just based on how I see the playoffs in this league. You don't play anyone from your conference in the first round. It's all other conference matches or out of conference matches in the first round. So my strategies for this don't necessarily matter a whole lot unless we both make it to the second round. So anyways, that's going to be it for me, and we play Nacho this coming week in week 6, and I'll catch you guys for that.